A guy bought $8,000 worth of launch coin from rock bottom 22 days ago. His money has gone up to $4 million. So as you can see, while some of us are still struggling manually, these people are making pinpoint buys with bots and managing to buy right at the very bottom. But let me show you how to use these bots, which ones have lower commissions, and with which ones you can achieve the results shown here. But let's do that by liking the algorithm and then moving on to the video. Let's go. Guys, at the beginning of the video, I want you to take a look here. Almost 16 million crypto. 5 years ago, there were probably only 100 or maybe 1,000 of these at most. Now there are 16 million. It's basically a junkyard as we know it. The main reason for this is the following. Only about 1% of them can actually do something. This is what it's come to now, because anyone who wants can create a token with a wave of their hand. A bunch of tokens come out every 10 seconds. Even I once created a token myself, at least to show you how it could be done. I had said that this was just an example, but as you can see from this topic, this is slowly settling down now. In other words, since this junkyard is no longer an opportunity, it's gradually being replaced, even if they're meme coins, by meme tokens that are of a quality high enough to be listed on exchanges. We're probably talking about the lower tier ones, like tier 3 or tier 2, but still meme tokens that can make it onto those exchanges. What does this mean? It means that only those with a market cap of at least 1 million, 5 million, 20 million or more are surviving. It means that people like you and me are no longer making these kinds of coins, and it's only a small group who are making money from meme or similar tokens that have the potential to rise. By using bots, especially sniper type bots. I've made a few videos about this before. We talked about Bongbot. That one was on Solana. Then we mentioned Bloompet's own bot. There should also be a separate bot on Ethereum called Banana Gun. We talked about that one too. This time I started using a new one recently. I didn't get bad results. Of course, I haven't yet come across a result where I invest $8,000 and make $4 million in 22 days. But maybe this person didn't know they could get such a result either, right? It's just that the budget they could risk from the start was that $8,000. For some people, that's $8. For others, it's $800. Whoever can take that risk gets involved. And if they're lucky, they walk away rich. Even if the guy didn't use a bot, just look at his entry and exit points. All the buys, those greens labeled buy, are coming from right there. I mean, there's almost no chart, no candlesticks. It just keeps going straight like that. And look at the points where he sells. Overall, this guy still has launch coin worth $3.5 million. So he's waiting somewhere to sell those too. And to be honest, Launchcoin isn't doing badly at the moment. So in conclusion, let's go to Deck Screener, for example. I'm looking at Launchcoin from here. He bought from around here, and it's clear that he also sold from around here. What are we trying out? If you want, come here to Top Traders and check. This isn't about someone who invests $1 million and then buys an extra $1 million. I mean, I don't know if I can take that kind of risk. There probably aren't many people like that. I mean, someone who would invest $1 million in a coin like this and make money from it. Let's scroll down a bit. Ours are in much smaller amounts. For example, someone invested $1,300 and took out $290,000 in profit from here. That's what I'm talking about. Now, imagine this is $100 or $200. Imagine taking 1/10 or 1/20th of that. It's still good money, isn't it? A small group can do this using bots. I estimate that over 95% of the top traders here use bots. But you need to be very careful when using these bots. First, are they reliable and how should you use them? Second, the commissions taken from here shouldn't be too high. I mean, if it eats up 50% of my money here while trading, I wouldn't use this place. For example, Bloompet takes a lot of commission. You need to adjust these things and act accordingly. Bongbot isn't bad either, but I can still say that it takes quite a bit of commission, and since it's just getting started, for those who are among the first to use it or are just starting to use it, there should be a commission of about 0.7%. It won't go above this rate for these new users. That's why I kind of got started here. Because I do these transactions whenever I get the chance. You know, I don't just participate in meme coin pre-sales. To be honest, I do these as well. Now, you must have seen this logo here. I'm talking about Loop. I'll show it to you anyway. So, what is Loop, you might ask? I've already gone into the details, but let me give you a summary in 3 points. It says, get in before others and before the price changes, make your transaction. Snipe new token. This feature is coming soon. Actually, that's the one I'm really waiting for. Right now, I'm testing it. Is it reliable or not? I'm trying to figure that out with small amounts. I've been testing it for a while, it's working quite well, but I'm waiting for the sniping feature. So with this feature, by the time others copy the contract address from Deck Screener, go to Ray Dumb, or type it in and buy on Jupiter, I've already bought it here, finished, closed the book, and I'm already looking for another coin. In other words, the sniping feature gives me that speed. Like I said, I'm waiting for that. Automate your strategy. So this is about making your strategy automatic in order to get ahead of others. That's basically the main feature, the whole point of the bot. Compared to others, especially compared to Bongbot, it's much simpler. That's kind of why I lean towards this one. I can say it's both because the commission is lower and it's simpler. I'll show you now. Guys, this is how the bot looks. Right now, what you can do includes buy and sell positions, limit orders, and so on. The first thing you'll do here is explore this area. You can test it out just like I did. Now we'll test it together. I'll show you how these things work. You click on the menu. All you need to do is go to the Start Bot section. That command is already available right now. You click on Start and it comes up like this. This is your address. Look, even just accessing this on BonkBot was quite difficult for us. Click here, click there, all sorts of settings. It was a bit of a hassle for us. Here it gives you your address directly. As I said, I sent a small test amount here. I finished, used it, and withdrew it back to my wallet. Now I'm going to send it again. I left a certain amount here so I could show you as well. Now let's click here. What can I send here from my wallet? I can send Solana. This works with Solana. This is already a Solana address. Now let's send some Solana here from Phantom. For example, I have this amount of Solana. I'll need to keep some of it anyway. Let's send 0.30 here. I'm clicking on send. I entered the Solana address here just as I got it from the bot. I put 0.3 here. I click next and now I'm going to click send. There's also a Solana fee for commissions that says sending. Normally transactions on Solana are pretty fast. Right now you can see it's 6.30. I just sent another 0.3 Solana. So when my Solana arrives here, it'll be something like 0.33. Now, so it doesn't get confusing, I'm clearing this part again, guys. I'm going to hit start one more time. I'll show you how much it is. I hit start and as you can see, it already went up to $56. As I mentioned, 0.33 has arrived here. Now, as I said, the sniping feature here will be coming. I'm testing this part myself. I started getting results like the ones I just showed you. Of course, some are less than others. So how can you get this from here when something happens? Let me show you. For example, you go to the buy section, enter token address. Look, the other notification disappeared too. They've done everything they can to avoid confusion. So it looks like I'll be using this place more often. For example, let's go back to Launchcoin. For now, I'm getting the contract addresses from Dex Screener. When you scroll down, you'll see it says Launchcoin on the right side. I clicked on it and I'm doing it slowly so everyone can understand more easily. I came here, pasted the address and pressed enter. The information for Launchcoin appeared in front of me. Pay attention to these. They've thought these things through nicely as well. Re-announce, has ownership been renounced? Mint authority, freeze authority, top 10. That is, you can think of it as a comparison of the percentage held by the top 10 holders to the others, to the other holders. It's 11%, meaning the remaining 90% is held by the others. Nice. It says here that the liquidity pools are locked. Is the liquidity locked? Yes, this is also locked. If you generally find these acceptable, this coin carries less risk compared to others. I'm not saying it's risk-free. It can still drop significantly when you buy it. If that 10% segment sells, or if that 93% sells. This is always possible, but by looking at these, we can feel a bit more at ease. It has already reached the price of 0.26 on Dex Screener. And when you scroll down, you have options here for how much you want to buy. If you select XSOL, you decide for yourself what you want to buy here. Let me show you. Let's do it together. Let's say XSOL, for example. I'm going to do it here with 0.15. Oh, we skipped that part. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go back now. I'm clicking cancel. Let's do that first, then continue. There's something called 50% slippage. They set it up this way so you can buy quickly right from the start. You know, that line you saw earlier, the chart. Even with 50% slippage while you're there, in other words, half of what you put in will be lost. If you invest $100, you might only be able to buy with $50. That's what it means. Pay attention to this. I'm not going to do something like that right now. But that's up to you. How much you want to put in, how fast you want to do it. I clicked on X slippage and here I'm going to reduce it to 5%, guys. It's set to 5% from here. Great. Now I'll say buy and actually let's say X Solana first. As you can see, I'm going to buy from here with 0.15, friends. I clicked like this and a separate option for 0.15 also appeared here. That's fine for me now. I can click buy. I'm clicking buy, that's it. While you others were doing swaps in Dex, messing around with it and such, the incident was over. That's it. Look, go check your transaction on SolScan. You'll be able to see what it did for you here. Look, finalize, max confirmation, success, the process is complete. So, we've completed our transactions here. We've ended up buying a launch coin here as well. As you can see with just 0.15 Solana, soon when sniping is available, you probably won't even need to copy this contract address because the information will already be there. We'll just click on it. With the settings we made earlier, we'll be able to buy instantly. Now I've done this transaction as I just showed you. I'm going back. It's in the start section. Look, as you can see, this is how much Solana I have left, but I have other tokens too, right? Now, if I click on the sell section, you can see that I have $27 worth of launch coin. I hadn't bought anything else from here. I can sell this. Because if I want to withdraw from here, I can't withdraw as launch coin. I sell it and withdraw as Solana. That's the whole point anyway. In other words, to get the money out from here, so how should we do it now, for example? We wanted to sell the launch coin, so we clicked here. Again, for example, there's a 50% slippage here. Please pay attention to that as well. We want to withdraw 100%. We clicked on 100%. Now I've enabled the slippage again. I'll set it to 5% again, just like I did earlier. As you can see, it's been set. Let's say this time I won't choose 100%. Since it can be adjusted, let me show you that. Let's say we wanted to sell 90% of it. We selected this specifically. We had already set the 5% slippage. Now I'm pressing the sell button. Apart from that, there's one more thing on the main page, in case you want to use it. There's also a referral section, just like on regular exchanges. They can offer something like 47 to 50% for the first users. Let's say you share this with someone and they start trading here just like you. They try to catch these kinds of coins. By using this, you can also earn extra rewards. This is completely optional. Some people might want to use it, some might not. But I'm just letting you know, you can do that from the referral section anyway. If you ever get stuck or want to learn something, there's a help section and there's even a chat. You can write via Telegram, you can do that as well. I usually can't buy or sell when something is wrong, something happens, there is an update on the bot, etc. I can ask this through the help section. Just keep in mind, make sure to write in English. So that's how it is, friends. See how quickly and easily you can perform transactions. All just through the Telegram bot. I'm waiting for the sniping feature. That's for catching newly launched tokens. Like with $5, $10, $20, $100, however much my budget allows. From time to time, I put small amounts in these places so that maybe after a night I wake up and find a really good coin. But pay attention to those check marks. If you select them, go ahead with the transactions. If not, you're taking on extra risk. In other words, there's a chance you could lose all the money here. Also pay attention to this. Don't send large amounts of money here just yet. Wait until the sniping feature is released and starts being used. Look, the amount I put here is just $30, $40, $50, something like that. If I lose that money here, I won't be upset. What could happen? Anything can happen. This is crypto. For example, I started the same way with BonkBot. I put in $50 or $100. Later, I increased it to 500,000. Then later, 2,000, 3,000, because it's still ongoing. This way, it gains a bit more trust. So acting with this mindset will always be beneficial for you. Because this crypto is extremely risky, let me remind you again, every platform and project we use. Apart from that, if you found the information in this video useful, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. For now, take very good care of yourself. See you in the next video. Goodbye.